Hey guys, Jarebird here, and I'm gonna walk you guys through the basics of what to know in preparation for Phase 4 of the Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn beta test. I broke this video up into two parts because the second half contains so much information that I didn't want to go into another overload of knowledge with us being so close to the launch and all. Anyway, let's jump right into it and start with some dates. So dates and times. Phase 4 start dates begin on Saturday, August 17th at 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they run up to Monday, August 19th at 2 a.m. Pacific Standard and 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, users who fulfill any of the following requirements are eligible to participate starting from Friday, August 16th at 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, in order to get that requirement to start a day early, you have to have played version 1.0, you have to have been a legacy member, either or, and you have to have registered a beta test registration code by Tuesday, July 30th, 2013, by 9:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Receive a PlayStation 3 promo code in the days before the start of the beta testing for. For testing requests, they ask you to stress test the housing zones, such as Mist. Mist is the name of the housing area in Limsa Lominsa that players will be able to explore. The Mist housing area is accessible from Lower Lenosia, around Red Rooster Steed, according to the patch notes. Also, testing the basic systems of PvP, known as the Wolves' Den. Requirements to unlock the Wolves' Den include completing the first Ifrit fight in the main story within the Bowl of Embers, and then the Wolves' Den will be added to the Duty Finder and PvP will become available. The test will include seeing how far players can hit each other in results of info being set back and forth, as well as hitbox testing and server load in the background. PvP actions will be unavailable, and it's only open for Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 players to participate in, since it's located past the level 20 level cap for the testing duration throughout the weekend. After Phase 4 testing, housing and PvP will be implemented into the game during the first major patch after launch, referred to as Patch 2.1. Changing the appearance of characters from version 1.0. Version 1.0 players will be able to change their pre-existing character's race, appearance, name day, guardian, and first and last name. Starting from beta test phase 4, players will be able to change this when they log into the game, with the character transferred from version 1.0. Any changes that are made during phase 4 will not be allowed to be altered once early access and the official launch arrives. The only exception is if you pay 30 days and get a Vial of Fantasia from the Veterans Reward Program. With the Vial of Fantasia, you basically use the item, and next time you sign into the game, you have the option for the character creation flag to appear so you can recreate your character. GM support are also going to be available for the first time in-game, starting with Phase 4. Use of copyrighted material. Beginning with the start of the official launch, you may stream, upload, or share your videos to record Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. However, please note that these things remain prohibited during beta test phase 4 and the early access period. You'll be allowed to capture video footage during phase 4, but you cannot release the footage to the public until the launch of the official service on August 27th. So it's okay to basically record footage during beta and early access, but you cannot show it to the public officially until launch date on the 27th, so keep that in mind, guys. Regarding an issue with a recent Windows update, make sure to also update your Windows OS to the latest version due to the opening cutscene for Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn not playing properly. This is a known Microsoft issue, and a fix has already been set for Windows 7 users. Your computer should automatically update to it ASAP, but just to double check and make sure, you should be good. Leave a comment if you have any issues. After Phase 4 comes to an end, characters from Phase 4 specifically, unless there happens to be a critical bug, both character data and the game data from beta test Phase 4 will be carried over to early access and the official release version. Game client from Phase 4. Both the Windows PC and PlayStation 3 versions of the game client that was used in beta test phase 4 can be used going forward as the official release version in both early access and official service launch. You do not need to uninstall the client after the end of phase 4. And last but not least, the Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn beta test forums. Along with the closing of the beta test, the beta forums will be closed on Thursday, August 22nd, 2013 at 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which translates to 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for anyone on the East Coast like I am. Please note that you will no longer be able to access the forums once it closes down. Starting from early access in the official launch service, please use the Final Fantasy XIV forums over on the Lodestone. Alright guys, well that's going to wrap up part 1 of this introduction to the beta test that's going to be starting this weekend on Friday if you are for the 16th qualified, and on Saturday if you are not falling under those regulated prerequisites. So tune in for part 2 where we go over a chunk in Leviathan filled with information containing within the beta test itself leading up to launch. So check it out.